welcome to the Brave News Channel episode 35. We're getting really high up in those numbers, aren't we? This is the show that's going to bring you all of the information for our fantastic application, Brave Frontier Global, available to you guys for iOS, Android, as well as Amazon and Windows devices. I am your host, Shali, and we're here with our amazing producer, whose name is Risky. Say hello, Risky.
Hello.
Yes. So, Risky, are you ready to dive into all this goodness that we have to share with our summoners today?
Yep. Ready as always.
Yes, as am I, because today we're diving more into the best collab ever, singing by Brave Frontier. Personal opinion. don't judge me on that. That's just me. But we're here to talk to you guys about the My Hero Academia collaboration. Of course, this is going to. I don't think we've announced the dates yet, right, Risky?
We have not announced the date yet, but yeah.
Okay.
You can take a look at the date and the period here, yeah.
Yeah, because they've been asking, back and forth ever since the news came out on the last BNC that this was a reality and this was really happening. People want to know when it's going to happen, and it's going to be from July 25th to August 22nd. So it's almost a full month of My Hero Academia stuff in Brave Frontier, which is amazing. Pretty great. All right, and so with the collaboration, of course, we introduced the two main characters last time. All Might is going to be part of the dungeon, and of course, Deku, Midoriya Izuku is going to be in the game as well. But we have more. We have more characters to share with you guys. We're going to show you the whole team. And so, ladies first, as they say. We have Ochako Uraraka. Yay!
Right.
It feels weird that I'm clapping by myself. I know everybody's clapping at home, so I feel you in my
I think everyone else is clapping.
Yeah, so
as well.
Uraraka is, of course, our lovable female protagonist. Although there are many female heroes in the My Hero Academia world, but she's the most prominent one, I would like to say. And she's very good friends with Deku, if anything. So we have her here. In her 7-star form, of course, she's in her PE uniform, and then in her Omni form, she is full Uravity mode. You can see her quirk come alive. Her quirk is 0 gravity. She can alter the gravity of the objects around her. So she can make them lighter, or she can make herself lighter even sometimes. And then when she wants everything to return to normal, she just puts her hands together and everything just falls into place. So if you've been watching the anime, or if you read the manga, the pose that she's doing on her Omniform might be very familiar to you. Again, if you're not watching the anime or if you're not reading the manga, you should. And it takes a little bit to get into it, maybe, if you're used to other like Jump series. But the 3rd season so far is really good.
Right.
All right. So what do you think of Ochako's design, Risky?
I think the design is really cute.
She's adorable.
Yeah, she's so adorable.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, like again, I think all the characters here are gonna follow the 7-star and Omni version of like 7-star with different costume, with a PE costume. So yeah.
It's a very neat idea, I think. Yeah. It's definitely very new, because every time that we've ever had a character, it's usually just kind of like an evolved form of whatever they were already wearing. But this is like a complete costume change. Like everything is completely new. From one evolution to the next. So it's really exciting. All right. Well, the next character we have is Katsuki Bakugo. Bakugo is Deku's #1 rival, Kachan, as he calls him. They grew up together. They've hated each other since. Well, Deku doesn't hate Kachan, but Kachan hates Deku's guts. Yeah, but it's amazing. You can see that explosions are coming out of Bakugo's hands. That's because his skin, actually, when it sweats, it secretes nitroglycerin, which is an explosive liquid, and he can make that liquid explode on command. So instead of making huge explosions, what he does is that he makes little tiny explosions that amount to a lot when done together. If he does it too much, though, his arms do take a beating, because he's all of that force he's having to hold with his arms, and that's why he has very strong braces around his arms in his costume for Omniform. So what do you think of this particular character, just by looking at him, Risky?
Well, just by looking at him, he looks like really mad in his Omni version. Look at the eyes there.
He's always in a foul mood. Like
yeah, I mean,
whenever he smiles, is always like in a vicious or malicious way. But his intentions are actually pretty good.
I see.
You gotta dive deep. You gotta, he's dealing with a lot of stuff, and he's a very proud man, young man, I should say. So it takes a little bit to get underneath, but he has the right reasons behind him. I want to believe.
I see.
So he might seem scary, but deep inside, he's a
a
snuggly
good
little
friend,
teddy
yeah.
bear.
Oh.
All right, well, moving on from Bakugo, we have the lovely Tsuyu Asui, who always wants her friends to call her Tsuyu. And she has the quirk of frog, which sounds like a weird quirk to have. You have zero gravity, you have explosion, and then you have frog, and it kind of doesn't fit in. But she uses every single part of her quirk to her advantage. She can leap crazy distances. She can stick to walls. Her tongue is like 20 meters long. She can grab anything with it. And perhaps the most off-putting part of her powers is that she can actually throw up her stomach. And just like a real frog, and they wash it and then put it back inside. But I mean, if you watch the anime or read the manga, you know that this part of her quirk has actually come in handy before. She has had to do some things to complete her mission where she has to swallow something and then be able to spit it back out in order to complete it. So she's definitely very smart. And she uses every single resource at her disposal, and many of her classmates respect her for that. And I really like Tsuyu. She's really cool. What do you think of her design?
Yeah, I think her design is another unique one. You see the pose are totally different. Like the squatting pose is really unique to her. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. And if we see the animation, which you will have a chance to take a look at the animation really soon in our special preview. Okay. There is a reason why we are choosing Tsuyu over other characters, because I do hear from several people that they would like to want Todoroki. Yeah, Todoroki, Tokoyami. There are so many, and they're all great. But maybe in the future, if we can expand on things. Yeah, maybe. If you guys. Show that you want it, and maybe we can help convince. The powers that be that hey, why not a part 2? That would be great. We haven't even started part 1 yet. Yeah. Well, we have to get through part 1 first and see how it does. But if it's popular enough, if people love it enough, people play it enough, then there could be a chance for part 2. So hopefully it doesn't stop at Tsuyu. I would love to see Todoroki. Tokoyami is one of my favorites. We'd love to see him. There's so many heroes worthy of attention, Yeah, I guess that's what makes My Hero Academia a really interesting franchise, I guess. Because you have really a lot of choices, and then players have their own favorite heroes. Exactly. Of course, except the main two. All Might and Deku. Yeah. Well, that's the beauty about it. It's everybody has different personalities, and everybody's drawn to a different character. So for me, actually, I think my favorite one out of all of them is Tokoyami. And he's a very complex character in various ways, but that's what piques my interest. I want to know how it came to be this way, and his struggles and things like that. So I think everybody's just drawn to different characters, the more that we have, the more that people can relate. So hopefully, out of these 4, you can still probably relate to at least one of them, I hope. And I hope you get the one that you want as well when you're summoning from the gate, because I really will try for summoning for them. Yeah, I want especially all of them, but I don't know how realistic that is. So I have to just pray and hope that the summoner gods are with me, because I'm gonna cry if I don't get some of these characters, just to let you know. All right, moving on from Tsuyu, we have our special collaboration dungeon, of course, and we have 2 of them. Risky, did you want to elaborate on those? Yeah, so the 2 dungeon will be a little bit different. So the first dungeon will be about we will also have an original story inside these two dungeons, like original cutscene involving the characters and our summoner.
Okay.
Which is the player itself. So basically, for the first dungeon, that will be about clearing up a misunderstanding between Ochako and Deku. So they basically our summoner will be transported to their world.
Okay.
And something happened, and the students thinks that our summoner is some kind of villain or evil group.
Yeah, I mean that's very similar to the actual storyline of the game. The heroes are just in the middle of training, and all of a sudden these strangers come out, and you don't know whether they're your friends or they're your foes. And then the only way to find out is fighting, really. So makes sense. Makes sense.
That's kind of the summary for the dungeon, and then the dungeon will be about the collecting. You can collect a special token from the dungeon, and you can exchange it with a sphere. Yeah, which is a weapon of one of the character. I won't open it for now. I won't say anything for now about it.
Okay.
So, yeah, you find out in our announcement on this really soon.
Oh my gosh, okay. We still have to wait on more information to come. It's so close, I can taste it, but I can't wait. I want to get my All Might from that dungeon. I want to fight against, well, I don't want to fight against Ochako and Deku, but you know, as a hero myself, that's what I have to do, so.
Okay, and the second dungeon will be it's called Escape Through the Gate. So it's basically the first two mission. You'll be testing your skill in the final exam against Tsuyu and Katsuki. And on the last mission, you will be having an ultimate test by fighting All Might. So this is where you can test your skill, and you know, if you clear the mission, you will get him.
Right, so you get to face the whole gang. You fight against everyone.
Yep. So you have a chance to fight against everyone.
Oh man, that might be a little bit difficult though, because they're all very, you know, the students of UA are very, very skilled, especially this class A1, right? They're the ones that are in next to become superheroes, so they're not just little kids with powers, like they know what they're doing. So I'm sure that dungeon is going to reflect that. Now I'm a little bit worried about All Might. Without any spoilers, All Might is not at his full strength at this point of the story. So I don't know that he's going to like be blasting you off to space or whatever, but but that doesn't mean that he's not serious when he's trying to test you. So you should still be preparing for that, so that you can hopefully take All Might with you and add him to your squad.
There's about the full collaboration is about 1 month. So you guys always, especially for the new players, they will always have time to prepare for your squad.
Exactly.
For their squad, yeah.
Time to build up, guys.
Yeah, and so just a bit preview on the dungeon, the second dungeon, Escape Through the Gate. When we can check it after this.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and just cut to the video and show everybody what it's gonna look like. Let's see it.
Wow, so
beautiful.
So what do you think about it, Charlie?
It's glorious. It's glorious. Did you see how All Might was just like taking everything, like it didn't even faze him? That's the power of All Might.
It's gonna be challenging.
Yeah, but all of the effects look so good. Like I love how the comic like letters just show up on screen, you know, especially like Deku's like smash is just like really big. It's like smash. It like you can almost hear his voice in the background yelling.
If you notice, I mean, like the beauty of our collaboration, especially for those like we have sometimes flexibility to actually recreate whatever in the game or in the anime.
Right.
And back to our game. So if you see like the VFX that we did in the previous collaboration, like Guilty Gear, you can see our artists are trying to replicate as close as possible to the original one.
Right.
Same goes with this as well. Yeah.
And they've done such a great job. I mean,
Yeah.
like the unit art itself just looks amazing, and then add on top
Yes.
of that, you know, the pixel art that goes into it, and also the animation effects that go into their attacks. It looks great. I honestly am so proud of our art team and design
Yes.
team for doing like an amazing job on this collaboration, and I am so excited to play it because I can't play it just yet, but hopefully by the time that this video is out, maybe will have already started, or we'll be like one day from starting. I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be very soon. So when we release this video, it's going to be like really soon, right before the start of the collaboration.
Okay, well, I'm gonna use this video to like mark my calendar and be like, once it's released, I only have to wait so many days for the My Hero Academia collaboration to start. So.
Okay, and some few last note on this. So the character, the summon will be split into two. So you will have the first two to be released will be Ochako and Deku, and in the second half will be Katsuki and Suyu.
Okay, so
And,
we have. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there will be a very special things here happening in the game. So basically, if you are bringing, so All Might and each of the students will have their kind of like special skill.
Okay.
So basically, the student will have special skill activated when All Might is in the squad. So there is more reason for you to actually get All Might if you have the character, because if you put All Might in the same squad with the student, each of the student will have their own like special extra skill unlock. Yeah.
Wow,
You know?
we're going all out for this collaboration.
Yeah.
We're trying
We are
to
going
pull
all
all
out
the
on this.
stops. I'm excited.
And we want to motivate players to like, hey, get All Might as well, because if you have All Might and you have the character, each of them will get additional extra skill to power them up. Yeah.
But I mean, there's no reason why not to get All Might. He's totally free. All you have to do is play the dungeon. You know, granted, he's probably not gonna drop the first time you clear the dungeon, because nobody's ever that lucky. And if you are, then hats off to you. I don't know how you do it, but
let me correct you a little bit. The All Might will be given as a one-time completion bonus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that means the dungeon's gonna be quite challenging.
Oh, so it's not like a random drop. It's
not random.
The first time you clear the dungeon, he's yours. So it's not like up to chance then.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
well,
not
you
up to
see,
chance,
even better. I mean, I'm sure that will up the difficulty of the dungeon a bit, but it's still like all you have to do is just do the one run and do it correctly, and then you get your precious All Might instead of hoping that he drops and like on your 10th run finally getting.
Yeah. In a sense, like maybe the random, the things about random drop chance is that first thing is that it's random. Yeah. So you might not get it immediately. Second is that unit that is dropped that have a random drop chance will usually be weaker than the normal than the unit that has that is given as a completion, the one-time completion bonus. So the reason why we are putting it as a one-time completion bonus is to actually be able to put him on the current meta. So All Might will be still useful as well in the current meta.
Okay, excellent.
Even as a free
excellent.
unit,
These are all good news. Thank you for correcting me and making sure that I have the right information, because it's very important. I think the last time that we were in talks about how All Might was going to work, it was supposed to be something like that, but I missed the memo that he became a completion reward. So now,
it might be a bit ambiguous. Yeah.
Now I know. And now our summoners also know. So just make sure to prepare that you can beat the dungeon and get your All Might and unlock those special abilities that Risky was talking about, because I don't even know what those are. I'm gonna have to look into that.
We can take a look at the news later.
Okay, I will. I'll be looking forward to it. All right, well, finally moving on from My Hero Academia collaboration, we're going to get into more Wave exclusives. And of course, the new Vortex Arena is coming soon. We just got done with the light Vortex Arena, so of course, dark is the remaining one. And for this one, we also have a brand new unit, and we have Ebony and Enid. As you can see on screen.
Yep.
All the Lolita flavor for you guys. I don't know what it is with Brave Frontier and like. Can you recall any unit that is Lolita theme that is not dark? I mean, I guess Carol from Easter is.
Yeah, Carol was a bit Loli style, but
Yeah.
not so much gothic. I think all the gothic Lolita style
Yeah.
will always be dark.
I
Just
don't know
because of the
why.
color scheme.
You know, lolly people are not necessarily like dark inside, but you know, it's okay because they look amazing. First of all, Ebony and Enid have a very interesting color palette. I love the color of her hair. It's kind of like a light teal, not something we're used to seeing very often, which is very nice and refreshing because I think when a unit, for example, if the unit is dark and they have black hair, it's kind of like, yeah, I get it. You know, it's a dark unit, you don't have to do that. But she looks really, really good, and I love the, you know, raven crow art around her. What do you think of her design, Rizky?
Yeah, I think she looks really like a mysterious one, because first thing is that her compared to the other Vortex Arena unit of the Academy series, her companion is a raven. so it is really interesting to see how their attack going to look like in the game.
Yeah, for sure. One thing to note about Ebony is that Ebony comes from a very privileged family. She never really struggled like financially when she was a kid, and because she had everything that could be afforded ever since she was a kid, all she did was train for war, whether it was physically or strategizing, and that is what her family wanted her to do. And so she didn't really have much of a childhood except for just devoting herself to that. Even when it was, you know, she became of age and she was expected to marry someone, her family wanted her to marry somebody that she could use towards their ends. So maybe if I marry this man, we can form a strong alliance for our family, you know, for the sake of war or things like that. However, you know, when you dive into things that you're not really familiar with, and you know, Ebony's not really familiar with the concept of love just yet, things happen, and you might get more than you bargained for. So I'm not gonna elaborate on that. I'm also not gonna elaborate on who it was that she came into a relationship with. You guys are gonna have to find that out on your own, but she's a very interesting character. Let's just say that. Yeah, and let's, you know, to put it bluntly, money and power is not necessarily the key to happiness, so there's that one. Very dark story, indeed.
But it's gonna be interesting to find out which guy which is the lucky guy.
Yes, because you may or may not know him already. 50% chance.
There's only 2 guys there.
Oh yeah. Equal representation. We should have had 3 guys, but that's okay. Maybe in the next round of whatever new units we get. So yeah, look forward to Ebony and Enid's story and lore once they are available for Vortex Arena. Yeah.
All right.
All right, shall we move on, Rizky?
Yep. So moving on, we will be having the Guild Raid Season 14. So this Guild Raid Season 14 will be a very special Guild Raid where you can actually be fighting the Voidbinder and Skytorch Guardians.
Okay.
There will be increased spawn rate for Dark and Light Elite monsters, and you can also hunt for Elite Umbrals and Luminous Golems to receive the Dark and Light Mystery Chest with a chance of getting Safae and Sylvan.
Okay,
so,
awesome.
Sylvan seems to be very popular characters because like everyone is like still using it.
I wonder why.
And he has a very nice nickname called Ceiling Fan. Yeah. So if players complete both quests and in a match they can receive summon tickets, Matsuri tokens, and guild tokens for the Battle 1 and Battle 2.
Awesome.
And a very special thing happening this summer is we are going to have the exclusive summer alternate art for Azurai that you can see on the right side.
Yes!
Look at this adorable Corzon.
Oh my god, I cannot. Look at him. Look at how,
it's like,
how much of a cutie he was way back when.
Yeah.
And it's really weird to see Azurai out of armor. Like, I couldn't imagine what he looked like. Like, the only Azurai that I know is kind of like Sauron from Lord of the Rings type of like
Yeah.
armor and like evilness, but he doesn't have like a tint of evil in this alternate art. I mean, it doesn't look like to me anyway. And
Let's just say,
Corzum
yeah.
looks relatively close to his dad still at this point. It's kind of like we're going back in time.
Yeah, exactly. I think let's just say this is the alternate art is the time travel, the time travel kind of like alternate art. It goes back in time where everything was still, you know, good and okay.
Okay, well, you know, sometimes
Like,
we have
he's still
alternate art
human.
where people who have helmets take them off. Sometimes we give them a little bit more wings, but I think this is a little bit more personal. Definitely. You get to see an entirely different portion of a unit's life, like way before they became what they are now. So I think this is a very new concept and new direction for our alternate art, and I am hoping to see more of that in the future. Just like alternate art that also comes with a story, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's going to be very interesting, and it is going to be something that, you know, like players will find out a very worthwhile to fight for, like, you know, because this kind of some alternate art is kind of like only exclusive in certain event. For example, in our case, just by participating, you can receive this alternate art. So yeah, the more reason for you to like participate in this next Guild Raid season.
Excellent.
Azurai, yeah.
More motivation, more motivation.
And finally, we will also have the new exclusive gift for the reward and Ember Butterflies, which is always useful for you to unlock, to create, to basically create your own Omni Emperor to max out your SP. So yeah, Ember Butterflies is currently very limited. So if you want to max out your SP to 130, do you know, like participate in this and participate in the Frontier Rift, which also gives you the steady supply of Ember Butterflies.
Okay.
So yeah,
there you have it.
Very exciting.
Indeed,
So
indeed.
let's move on to the next guild event, which is the Frontier Rift guild event. So in the Frontier Rift guild events, Heaven's End, we will be fighting three kind of squad enemies. So you have like fire, light, and dark enemies, and you are going to face off with Rogue Titan. This, by the way, this story is from the Galadon series. So you can see Kielazar here on the right. Our
Gorgeous.
our villain, super villain here, and still a similar mechanic as usual. You join a guild and you contribute to your guild's total score by doing the best, by doing the best score, and your best score will be the score that going to contribute to the whole guild milestone. So first thing, do group up with other guilds, get as many members as possible, and second is do perform really well so that you can maximize your score. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds
And
good.
there will be a special unit as well, a special reward here in the guild, the Frontier Rift guild event. First thing is the Kielazar, the 7-star unit, will be given.
Wow.
as the-
Okay.
yeah,
so we
as the-
finally get to
as
see
the
him in
master
unit
reward.
form.
Yes, and there will be a unique ES sphere as well called Vampiric Embrace,
Okay.
and they can also get other materials, Omni Plus materials as well. And the final floor reward will be Kielazar's Omni Evolution material. So you got the unit from the milestone, and when you clear the final floor reward, you will have the material to evolve him to the 8-star. To the
Alright.
Omni Evolution, yeah. So
Wow.
as you guys understand that our Frontier Rift works like the guild milestone will only be available during the guild season, and off the guild season you can still play the Frontier Rift, but you can only get the non guild milestone reward, which is the final floor reward and the other milestone reward. So do you know, like make use of this the guild event season to actually get the unit. Otherwise, you might, if you miss the season, you'll only get the Omni Evolution material, but you don't get the unit.
Right.
Yeah. So do regroup your guild right after the season 14, so that you can play and you can have a chance to get the unit.
Excellent.
All right.
I'm gonna have to get on that. But honestly, I struggle a lot with the Frontier Rift stuff. It's not easy. It's like you really have to like invest so much time and sit there and watch every turn and every move that you make. So I've started many Frontier Rifts, but I have finished maybe one. It's a challenging dungeon. So.
I guess like consult communities will always help you.
Yeah. This is purely because I decide to do it blindly. Like I don't look up like any strategies, and I don't really ask for any help. So it's totally on me. But it doesn't like it's still pretty challenging. So I hope that our summoners are doing a lot better than I am. That they have like figured out strategies and that they're helping each other so that they can advance through these and reap those wonderful rewards. Because I'm behind, but I'm sure that our community is doing way better than me.
Yeah, I guess the beauty of this Frontier Rift is that you have to really like, go into the community channel and then discuss a group with a good guild and the one that has like active and members with like a very optimized squad.
Right.
So that because scoring is very important and the number of members in the guild are very important as well to quickly achieve the milestone reward.
Right.
So,
right. Exactly.
Do find out your guild, like group, kind of like a recruitment channel in Discord or Reddit.
Yep. Yeah, I really do need to look into that. I just don't want to join a guild and be the one that does nothing to contribute, Like, I don't want them to point the finger and be like, Shali's so lazy, she didn't even get us like 1 point, and I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry. So, yeah, but we'll see. We'll see. I need to do a little bit of research and do a little bit of more work, but in the meantime, we can discuss a little bit about Kielazar, who is the reward for this Frontier Rift, one of the milestone rewards, as Risky already mentioned. And Kielazar is a very interesting character. Contrary to his looks, ever since he was a kid, he faced a lot of racism for being half elf raider, half something else. I'm trying to point out exactly what it is, but it doesn't really say here. The most important thing that I guess needs to be addressed about Kielazar is that because he faced discrimination when he was a kid, he decided to go to the capital and to join the Inquisition because he had heard the Inquisition would treat him as an equal. So his background, whatever half the other was, half a raider, half whatever else, was not going to matter in the eyes of the Inquisition. And so when he did, he eventually came in contact with a certain vampire lady.
I know
who we all know and love very much. I mean, she's one of the most interesting units that I think we've ever created for Global specifically. And she kind of tried to teach him the ways and try to be a full-blown creature of the night. Like herself, and this part of Kielazar, well then together they decide to do things here and there.
I see.
And at some point he becomes determined to fight the Rock. Of course, at some point he also meets his wolf companion. So there's a lot of lore that is involved into the Galardon series, and so I'm not gonna get too into it right now. But if you score Kielazar from the Frontier Rift for the guild event, then you will be able to read it all by yourself. So I definitely recommend that you play the event, try to score as many points as you can with your guild, stick together, get your Kielazar, and make it all the way to the end so you can get the evolution material to make this amazing 3-sworded Kielazar with plasma wings. I don't know what to call it.
It's 4.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4.
There you go. That's what it is. So his wolf turned into whatever the background.
Wing or bat, something.
Yes. I mean, it does make sense from like a vampiric stance. He does look the part. He looks great though. I really enjoy the whole like draping cape type of deal. Not necessarily a cape, but the jacket. And he looks very much like a master of the dark. If
sort
you
of
would.
like, yeah.
He definitely looks the part. All right, and then moving on to another Frontier Rift summon unit that is coming up. We have Astrid, and Astrid is brand new to
it's a brand new character.
the storyline. Basically, as you can see from her art, she's kind of a bookworm. She enjoys reading. She always has ever since she was a little kid, and she is very curious about the world around her and about whatever has knowledge that she hasn't attained herself. However, one day when she gets a little bit too curious and discovers a certain secret passage underneath a library, when she finally comes back up from that passage, she discovers that the whole city around her has been destroyed by a demon horde. And after that, she also realizes that she has the Fuin Signum on her as well. And if you guys remember, the Gallardon series is all about Fuin Signums and being kind of brought back from the dead in an eternal loop that you have no idea of why you are stuck in. You get sent to this place and you're not necessarily sure of how you got there or where you're going, but she is joining the ranks of, you know, Gabriella and Adriesta and all of these wonderful characters that have already set up the storyline in order for Astrid to come in and join the gang. So what do you think of Astrid? Risky?
I think her design is really nice and it's refreshing. Especially, I mean, she looks a little bit like Elimo, but not so much looking like Elimo looks like librarian, very geeky kind of like girl.
Yeah.
But she looks more like magician or a sorcerer type kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. The thing that gets me about Astrid is the color scheme is very light and kind of fun. Most of the Gallardon units have such a dark past, and that past gets reflected in the way that they look. And so I don't want to say that they're scary, but like once you look at them, you take them very seriously because you feel the depth of the character in there. I think Astrid is a little bit more light, a little bit easygoing, kind of more on like the Phelan side of things, you know, to bring a little bit of light and joy to the storyline, hopefully. I mean, it remains to be seen. But make sure that you try to score her. Risky, how can we get Astrid though? Because Kielazar is a reward from Guild, right?
No, Astrid is going to be a summon unit.
Oh, okay.
This. So she will be the complement for the event itself. So she's going to be very helpful for the event.
So there will be a special gate for Astrid alone?
The skill itself, yeah.
Oh,
so as we can see, usually we designed the Frontier Rift to be, you know, like have a very challenging content inside, and the unit that come out with the Frontier Rift, the summon unit, will have special skill that will help you to optimize the score.
Okay.
Basically, perform better so that you can optimize the score.
All right. So recruit Astrid
forward.
to get a better score on Guild, so you can then get Kielazar. Is that how that works?
Yeah, you will. Basically, Astrid or the summon unit in Frontier Rift will help you to perform better in the battle itself, so that you can get a better score.
Right. Okay. Cool. Well, looking forward to her as well and seeing what she has to offer. All right. Well, that is it for the Brave exclusive. Stick around for the Summoner's Corner next. All right, guys, welcome to the Summoner's Corner, where we pick up comments straight from the YouTube videos. So make sure that you're leaving one every time, because, you know, next time it might be you that gets featured on the show. And recently we've adopted this pattern of just taking the Q&A section straight from these wonderful comments, because a lot of you, you know, do a combination of both. They're like, oh, I appreciate the BNC channel and all of the information that you give, but I have questions. So we might as well just take those questions and, you know, gather it all together and ask Risky for all of these answers. So let's start with Trattoria here. Trattoria says, hello there, I have two questions that I would like to have answered. Number one is, will there be more of raid battle? Because it hasn't been touched in a long time and the spears are kind of outdated. Compared to, for example, like Guild Raid. So let's start with that one, Risky.
Right. So yeah, this is a tough question because we have tried to like recently move to like a more challenging content because it really does about the game mode or the game mode itself that focus more on like challenging content and moving towards the Omni or Omni Plus. So Raid Battle is currently not in our plan yet, but not saying that we are not going to reconsider it again in the future, because in a way, Raid Battle is one of a way for us to actually tell the story on top of the Grand Quest. So in the Raid Battle, we can also like have kind of like give global exclusive story, a special like sequence of battle treatment in the Raid Battle. So yeah, at the moment we don't have any plan, but we can still discuss this with the team. So hopefully maybe somewhere in the near future.
Okay. So short answer is not right now, but maybe in the future.
Not right now.
All right, and the second question here is on the topic of Raid Battle, the slot machine is also outdated. Could you add things like elemental shards or EXP badges or EXP pills for the summoner arc to the slot machine?
Okay. So on this question, it looks a little bit off because you're playing Raid Battle but getting item for the game mode outside the raid. But yeah, I mean, updating it will definitely will consider updating the slot machine as well. So by updating it, we probably will help players to come back to the Raid Battle and just continue farming again to get one.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So yeah, we can consider that.
Well, Trattoria says that's all, and thanks for the hard work. Love you, Shali and Risky. Love you too, Trattoria. Thank you so much for your wonderful question. All right, next we have Pickle in a Cup. I love this name. Pickle in a Cup. Good stuff, but where is Avani Omni? I need it, and make an evolutionary Omni, because if it's a Rift Summon or a Frontier Summon, I will scream. Literally word for word what Pickle in a Cup said. Risky, any thoughts?
It's really an interesting comment and question as well, so that's why I'm picking this up.
Okay.
But yeah, well, definitely what we can say is that Avani Omni will be coming.
Yes.
Not so soon, but it's on the plan.
Yes.
And to reiterate, our team has decided that Eneroth, all the Eneroth series will receive the Omni update as well. And it's not a separate unit like what we did for the SBS series, because SBS series is pretty old.
Right.
So there is a reason why we have to like we have to cut them and we have to reimagine them in a different form.
Right.
But Eneroth series are still pretty much updatable, I'll say. So that's why you guys can see that we have Nyami Omni has been released, Alanon Omni has been released, Nyala has been released as well. So yeah, Avani Omni is coming, is on the plan. But yeah, Haley will come first.
Okay.
That's all I can say.
Well, there you go. Haley's going to come first because she's everybody's wife. Avani will come eventually, and all of the people from Eneroth are going to be evolutionary.
Yep, evolutionary.
Omnis,
yes.
Not a standalone. So let's all calm down and rejoice because I know there's so much like
love.
What should we call it? Yeah, it's a little bit different when you have to cut off the unit completely and make a separate one. We're doing it for good reasons, obviously, because it is better for the functionality of the unit. But if you feel a little disconnect when you have been with the same unit for such a long time and you finally get to evolve it to its ultimate form, then I think it feels a little bit more special. You're like connected to the unit. So I can relate. No problem. So there you have a Pickle in a Cup. We'll look forward to that in the future. All right, and for our last question of the day by DUFY or DUFY, sorry if I'm saying your name incorrectly, but Duffy or Doofy says, thank you, Brave Frontier team, for working on the bugs and keeping us updated. You are welcome. Great job on Aesir, very unique customizable unit, and looking forward to the summer events as well. Well, thank you. We are looking forward to all of that as well, and we are definitely working on all the bugs and trying to keep you guys updated as best as we can. So just stay tuned to the news and producers' letters and things of the sort. We're churning out responses as fast as we can. So for question number 1 here, will items like Fujin potions, crescent dews, and the such get increased as a stack update, you know, for quality of life? For example, instead of having 99 hero stones and then 10 hero stones, can't we just have them like stack on top of each other? That would be great. Risky, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think this is referring to the recent changes that we did for the Omni shards. So definitely technically it is something that is possible to do. So we can consider to increase it. We'll discuss with the team and take a look at which items are the most commonly used. I understand that Fujin potions, crescent dews, some revives, and even like hero stone are really oftenly used in the battle. Compared to other items, so we can discuss this and bring it to the team.
Okay, that would be great.
An update. Yeah.
That would be excellent because it would free a lot of slots in my inventory. I would very much like that. All right, and then question number 2, which is probably the most important question that we've had all show. The people want to know, Risky, who are your waifus?
I think it's because you have been mentioning your husbandos.
Well, because I always do. I have to, you know, represent the husbandos. And so, what should we do? Should we do top 3, Risky, for you? Or do you want to go top 5?
I think I don't have that many, but yeah, I think everyone knows. I think we did mention it. One of the characters when they received an Omni update.
That's right.
And I really like that she's the waifu. She's actually Libera.
Yes. Yeah. I know how fond you are of Libera. Yes.
And yeah, have other unit that I think looks really great. I mean, even in the BF form, which is Juno Seto is one of my favorite.
Interesting. Okay.
And the recent Nanwangmu, the Blossom unit.
Okay.
That's basically I really like unit that looks like elegant.
Yes, you do.
That's all I can say.
You like the long flowy hair.
Long flowy hair.
Yeah. I understand. I get your type.
Something with dress or something.
Yeah.
Instead of armor.
I like kind of like the bad boy type. So like Xion is not like nice at all, and Zelnite he's the bad boy that saves the good people, so he's kind of like excusable. And then my relationship with Xenon is I guess the exception. Like, like you have the bad boys and then the one good guy that you're like, he's the one that I can take home to mom and mom will be proud.
But yeah, I mean, like I can see Xenon and Xion looks a little bit like a bad guy, but then how about Zelnite?
Well, that's what I mean. Like Zelnite is, at the end of the day, Zelnite is a thief, and thievery is a crime. And so he is a bad guy when you look at him from the point of the law. However, he steals for the poor and for the people in need. That's why he's the noble thief, Zelnite. So we have the 3 spectrums, right? We have Xenon, who's like the upstanding, super knight in shining armor, quite literally, that will defend every lady in need. And then you have bad boy Xion, who's just like, I'll just crush everything in my path and I don't care what you say. And then in the middle, you have the perfect balance of good and evil in Zelnite. Because he is only bad for the purpose of good. You see?
So your husband has really a strict criteria, huh?
Yeah. So my husbandos are very systematic in that way. Risky just likes elegant ladies, and there's nothing wrong
elegant,
with
flowy hair and dress.
Yeah.
Very easy. Very easy to get. Yeah. All right, so it's interesting question. So yeah, thank you, DUFY.
Yes, thank you so much for asking, Risky. That we had a fun time trying to discuss it. Of course, if you have any more questions or comments or anything that you'd like to share with us, please leave it in the comments below so that maybe you could be the second, not the second, but the next summoner that is featured on our channel. And we love hearing from you. We love answering your questions. Obviously, we can't get to all of them, unfortunately, but we do try to pick some that we think that you want answers to, and questions that have been coming up a lot because obviously they are, big concerns in the community and things like that. So hopefully this sheds a little bit of light on what is to come for Brave Frontier, because we still have a long way to go. And as always, we appreciate all of your support and your love, and we'll be seeing you on the next episode.
Bye-bye.
Bye.